I figured out this formula after my father killed himself. My father shot himself in the head, boom, blew his brains out. I was thrust into a position where I had to take care of my whole family. You know, I'm the man of the house now. Up until that point, I wasn't taking life very seriously. I wanted to have fun, do all this other shit, running around, doing dumb shit, partying, chasing hoes, all that other shit. And once he killed himself, I was like, oh man, it's real now, right? Like, I'm the man of the family. I gotta make some money. I gotta take care of everybody. How do you do that? Well, to get rich, you need leverage, okay? And there's 3 forms of leverage: money, boom, skills, and media. All right, money, skills, and media. That's what you're gonna need to get rich. Those are the forms of leverage. In the last 3 months, in my trading account, just my trading account, I made, you can see, $90,000, right, in my trading account. However, I had over $600,000 in that trading account. I used the money as leverage. Or I have a friend who made $1 million because he bought a business for 10 and then like sold it like a few months later for 11. So the money he was able to use that money as leverage to make more money. Money's one form of leverage. Another form of leverage is skills. When I was young, I grew up with a guy named Larry Fitzgerald, and Larry, his grandfather was friends with my father. And we used to go over to the house for holidays. They celebrated Kwanzaa and shit. And so we go over there in Kwanzaa, and me and Larry would run around playing Nintendo and shit. And then he got sent away to live with his uncle, Chris Carter. He's a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and he taught him how to catch footballs like really good. He became one of the best at catching footballs from that skill set. And he went on and made millions of dollars in the NFL. Then media. Media is another form of leverage. For example, fucking Selena Gomez can endorse some product today and make $1 million if she wanted to, right? Because she has so many eyeballs. Or Kylie Jenner was able to become a billionaire, not because she had so much crazy skills, right? It's because she had such a big following. Some people came to her and said, hey, we'll start this business around you, make a business around you. And she's like, all right, cool. And all she had to do was endorse it, right? She's not in the fucking lab making makeup herself, right? She just had the media and she was able to, make money off that. This is how you work smart with leverage. People always say, don't work harder, work smart. Well, you need leverage to work smart. The 3 forms of leverage are money, skills, and media. If you don't got no leverage, then you have to work hard. That's all that's left. Broke motherfuckers can't work smart. That's why you broke. If you was fucking smart, you wouldn't have been broke, right? So you can't work smart. You got to work hard. And that's the position I was in. When my father killed himself, I had to work hard. So what I do, I said, you know what? I'm going to focus on building up my money, my skills, and my media in order to use that leverage to get rich. But first, I have to start somewhere. So what I did was I looked at what I did have. I had time. At the time, I was doing a few things. I don't want to get into all of it, but I had to stop a lot of the stuff I was doing. And I was personal training, but it wasn't making enough money. In-person training, it wasn't making the kind of money that I really wanted. So I went and got a bunch of other jobs. I would wake up at 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., then immediately take the train from Queens to Harlem, train people in the morning. I had some clients that I knew were solid AM clients. Boom. I would shower at the gym, then take the train downtown from Harlem all the way to Soho, work security at the Prada store for about 8 hours. Then I would work for my boy's moving company for a few hours a day. That was like 14, sometimes 16-hour days, 5 days a week. And on the weekends, I trained people in the morning, still woke up early. And then I was the weekend manager at a barbecue restaurant in Astoria on Steinway. And I did that on the weekend. So I was basically working fucking long hours every day for years. I did that shit for 2 years. But I was able to make over $100,000 both years. During that time, I was still able to live below my means, so I stacked money. But when I had some time, all the time I wasn't working, I spent building my skills and building up my media. So Instagram did not exist. It was just Facebook and YouTube. So I bought a camera off of eBay. It was this camera called the Flip Cam. I remember I paid like $50 for it. It was used and had a yeah, it was used for $50, but it was revolutionary because it was an HD camera that you could fit in your pocket, 720 HD. You gotta remember, the iPhone had just came out and it didn't have an HD camera. It didn't even have copy and paste. It didn't have a lot of shit. So I was like, all right, started making YouTube videos in my crib. You can see those old videos in my fucking crib. And at the same time, I'm building my skill set. So I'm learning online marketing. All right, I'm studying, I'm reading all the time. Like I'm reading, there's a lot of train rides. So I'm on the train reading all the time. I had a Kindle or I would bring physical books. So I was learning online marketing. I had to learn I had to make a new computer, right? Because You motherfucking kids is lazy as shit. Y'all all have fucking better computers than what I had. I had to build a computer that was powerful enough to edit videos. So I had to build a PC because I was broke. I could have bought one, but not broke, but I was trying to save money. So I had to build a PC and then learn how to make a website to collect people's emails because ClickFunnels and shit didn't exist back then. ClickFunnels, Samcart, all that shit didn't exist. I had to learn HTML to build the fucking website. Then I had to learn email marketing. And I started building. I built a blog and all this other stuff, doing this stuff on the side. And at the same time, I need to start online training. So that's how I started doing it. YouTube was a social media that I was building. And then I was building this business on the side while working for a job. While working for jobs. You may be thinking, how'd you have time to do all that? Super simple. All you broke motherfuckers do this shit now. Now, how many hours a week do you sleep? On average, right? So if you sleep 8 hours a night, that's 56 hours. How many hours a week do you work and or school? How many hours a week do you spend on that? How many hours a week do you work out? I'm assuming you work out. If you don't work out, you's a bitch. You shouldn't be watching this shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel inferior. You see my arms. This shirt had sleeves on it earlier today. But I popped them out like the Hulk. You're gonna feel inferior if you're watching my videos and you're not even trying, right? You don't want to do that to yourself. Or your girl might catch you watching this. She'll be like, "Oh shit, who's that?" You know what I'm saying? And she goes in the way and masturbates. You don't want that. You don't want that. So you got to work out and you got to spend some time with your family and or girlfriend. But we'll just call it family, right? So how many hours a week do you spend on each one of these things on average? You can add it up right now. What's the total of those 4 things? Now, in every week, there's 168 hours. How many hours is left? Whatever's left, you need to devote it to building your leverage, building your money, your skills, and your media, 100% of it. And that's what I did. So I started managing my time better in my calendar. So my whole life was planned out. I knew where I'd be every second of every day. I just planned everything out. I had to make sacrifices though. I wasn't out here trying to be an international playboy. I wasn't out here going to all the parties. I didn't have like no crazy social life. I wasn't hanging out. I certainly wasn't playing video games or nothing, man. It was just grind mode. This was like 2 years of straight up grind mode. But I was able to build my skills, my media, and my money. Now, I used time though. I figured I had all this extra time and I used this time to build the leverage. All right, that's very important. And using calendar, I have some videos on how to use Google Calendar to be more efficient and more effective. And everything was in there. So I lived out on my calendar. I knew when I was gonna eat. I knew when I was gonna see my family. Like everything was planned out meticulously. And when I tell this story, I did it in a YouTube short. People are like, "Oh, that's impossible. When did you have time to shit and eat?" Well, it's illegal to not let your employees fucking shit, bro. Like that's like, I wasn't working for Al-Qaeda, right? Like these were like American companies. Like you can go take a shit, bro. It's cool. When you're gonna eat, you plan it. You get the lunch breaks at work. You fucking plan it, dumbass. That's what you do. But people say that because they're looking for excuses. They're looking for excuses. They don't want to believe that somebody worked that hard because, it makes them feel inferior. So in order to mitigate the feelings of inferiority they experience when they realize that the real ass niggas is outworking them and making them look like little hoes, bitches. They don't want to feel that way, so they gotta say, "Oh, that's bullshit," or "I can't do that," or when they come up for an excuse. That's hoe shit, man. Cut it out. So I was able to start building the leverage, and then guess what? I started to get some clients from my online fitness business. More difficult back then because nobody was doing online training. I was like one of the pioneers of it. Honestly, one of the pioneers in that space. So it probably took a lot longer than it needed to, but I was able to do that. And what I did was I was able to start quitting certain jobs. Well, I got fired from, be honest with you, I got fired from the Prada store because I wasn't a good security guard. I didn't keep anyone secure. I didn't guard anything. Once this motherfucker ran out with some shit and I was like, he got us that time, guys. Like, you ain't gonna get him. Like, nope, this shit got insurance. I don't. Obama just took office and I ain't got no Obamacare. I ain't got shit. He wants that shit more than I want to stop him. Sometimes it's the fight in the dog and not the dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? I gotta save my energy because I gotta move motherfuckers in and out of fucking apartments after this shit. I digress. They let me go. They made the right decision. They're a smart company. $1 billion company. They make good products, smart people. They know when someone wasn't qualified to work there. So they let me go, no problem, because I had already built up leverage. And then I quit the moving company. That's the hardest work I've ever done. And I've worked a lot of like blue collar jobs, construction, fucking busboy, waiter, all that shit. Ain't nothing fucking with the moving company in New York, because it's like all the fucking buildings don't have elevators, bro. They don't all have elevators. So you fucking carrying a heavy ass sofa bed up a fucking 6-story walk up. Man, fuck that. Fuck that shit. So it's like I was working real hard. So I quit the fucking moving job. And now it's just training people and working at the restaurant on the weekend. So that free, so I used that leverage. I was starting to make some money. So I put all that time into the leverage, into getting more money, building more skills, and building my media. So now I was able to really build my media up because I had more time. So I went really hard on YouTube. That's when I started doing like fucking 2 YouTube videos a day. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it just kept compounding, but I never stopped working as much. So some people will say it's work smart instead of working hard. I work smart and hard because I'm a motherfucking G. I'm a motherfucking G. But what happens is leverage allows you to make more money per hour. It increases what's called your hourly rate. So once I started to realize that, then I took it to another level. My business, my online fitness business. There's a lot of stuff I had to do. I had to edit videos. Boom. I had to build the websites. There's a bunch of other tasks you gotta do, right? There's a bunch of tasks you gotta do. This is how you turn your side hustle into a real business. You map out the task that you have to do. And then what you want to do is you want to start taking yourself out. And so I started paying people to edit videos. Harry was the first one. Boom. I started paying other people to do the websites and started paying people to do all the other tasks. And I started doing the one thing that I could do the best, right? Was be the media personality. But I put all my time into it, just as many hours, still fucking 12, 14 hours a day because my hourly rate went up. But then I also did it with my life. Now, this is the shit that people clown me for on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok, right? So think about your life, right? You got to get groceries. You got to clean your place up. Boom. Yeah, laundry. Yeah, shit like that, right? So what I did was I looked at how much I was making per hour. And all you got to do is do the math of how much you're working and how much money you make each month versus how much money you get your, what's called your hourly rate. And I noticed, let's just simple math. Let's say my hourly rate had went to 100. Boom. If I pay someone to do my laundry instead of doing the laundry, right? And I work during that time. Let's say the laundry costs, I don't know, $60 to get done. Boom. If I work during that time, then it's a fucking $40 profit. Same thing with groceries, cleaning the house. I used to go on TaskRabbit. I still do this. I go on TaskRabbit, find someone to clean up the crib, and I work during that time. If somebody cleans anything under my hourly rate, what I do is I buy time. And if I make more money than I spent to buy the time, then it's a net positive. So I started doing that on my life. But people get it with your business, but they don't get it with your life. And I put that money to work. I put them to make more money and building the leverage. Getting rich is all about building leverage. So I just focused on increasing my money, my skills, and my media. This is the key. Money, skills, and media. If you have those things, you can make money. If you're the best at something, people will pay you top dollar for that shit. If you got a lot of money, you can definitely use that to deploy it against something to make more money. And if you got a big social media or big media presence, you can make more money that way. This is why you see billionaires buy media companies, right? This is why Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post. Why did he do that, right? Because now he controls that media. Elon Musk bought Twitter. Why do you think he does that? Because he can control that media. It's super powerful. It's super high leverage. And then if you're just really good at something, people will pay you for that. Let's say you're good at sales. My top salesman made over $300,000 last year. And the bottom salesman, he made like 100. They both put in the same amount of work. It's just one skill set is so much higher. You know what I'm saying? You get on the phone with Brian, you get on the phone with white boy Brian, you buying something. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got the money, you're going to be selling shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers selling their bikes, motherfuckers selling game consoles, offering up their firstborns. You know saying, offering up girlfriends and shit, man. Sending their girlfriends to Brian. I'm like, nah, that ain't the form of currency we take. And that's really the key. Those are really the key. Now, here's the thing. When I talk about using all this time to build your leverage, and I talk about how hard I work, people say, oh, that's too extreme, man. I want to enjoy life. I want to do all this other shit. But you really have to change your associations with pleasure. Because when you talk about enjoying life, most of the people, when they say that, they're really talking about escapism, right? They would say, oh, I want to party. I want to get high. I want to go on vacation. I want to chill, play video games. And there's nothing wrong with that stuff. But if that's the only way you can enjoy life, then you can only enjoy life sporadically because you can't play video games all the time. You can't get high all the time. You can't go on vacation every day. But if you start to associate pleasure with actually pushing yourself, seeing how far you can go, how hard you can work, actually trying to fulfill your potential, if you associate pleasure with that, then every day can be full of joy. You can enjoy life every day. Like even when I was working that hard at all them jobs, I was working towards a purpose. And I knew I wasn't gonna make a career out of moving, or I wasn't trying to rise the ranks of product security, but I knew what I was doing. I knew what my goal was, what my vision was. And just showing up at those jobs and working hard, I started to enjoy that because I was pushing myself. I was seeing what I was made of, and I was building character that was like super important and super valuable. And the people who were telling me I need to chill out and enjoy life more, what they didn't really understand was that I enjoyed life more than them. Because I can push myself every day. I can fulfill my potential every fucking day. And they can only do those escapism activities sporadically. They didn't even understand that I'm enjoying life more than them. Because these weak motherfuckers can't even fathom. They can't even imagine a motherfucker loving to work hard because they are serving a greater purpose. And once you really flip that switch in your brain, that's when things will take off for you. You really have to stop looking for the easy way out. You have to stop looking for ways to cut corners. You have to stop looking for ways to make things easier, because the majority of your pain comes from your desire for things to be easy. Your desire for comfort and ease is what's ruining your life. That's where your fucking pain comes from. That's where the real pain comes from. What if you didn't want it to be easy? What if you didn't need to be comfortable? What if you actually took pride in pushing yourself and not being comfortable? Knowing that you can actually take more and withstand more than the average person. Knowing that that made you a cut above everyone else. If you can take pleasure in that, then every day can be full of joy, man. Seriously, every day can be just as joyful as someone on vacation. Like when I go on vacations, I'm not happier on vacation than I am at my desk every day working hard, fucking 12, 14 hours a day. Because I still do that. I'm still up 4:30, 5:30 every day. Then the only time I sleep in is if I need to, if my body's like, yo, motherfucker, you've been pushing it too hard. But for the most part, I'm getting after it. And I got more money than you. So I want you to think about that. There's a multi-millionaire working on his goals harder than you are. That should make you feel bad. And it's okay to feel bad, because sometimes you need to feel that pain to push yourself to the next level. And I hope you do. I hope you do. If you don't have money, if you don't have elite level skills, if you don't have media that can make you money right now, then all you got is time. Everybody got time. Or how are you using it? Employ that time into building up your skill set, building up your money, building up your media. You can really just get good at one of them. Elite level skills, that could be enough, like an NBA player or some shit. If you just gather up a bunch of money, I've seen people get rich that way. I've seen people just make money with just media, just having huge media. Joe Rogan got $100 million from Spotify just because he had the #1 podcast. But you can also build all three. And if you do that, that's the key to getting rich.